what's important to Nashville.
Sweet mother of God, what is the holdup?
This is the Chase and Big Joe Show.
Well, Lottie frickin' God!
With Chase McCabe and Big Joe Dubin. Brought to you by Regal Realty Group.
Good, great, grand, wonderful.
We're here on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
And a good Tuesday, everybody. Welcome in. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. He's Big Joe. I'm Chase McCabe. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier on the ones and twos. A huge show for you today. A big announcement at 10 o'clock.
Oh, really?
A concert announcement at 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay. I like being surprised. I don't know what's going on here. I like this.
You were in the meeting.
It's called a tease.
I know. So we'll have that. Hal Gill is going to join us to start his weeklies at 10 o'clock as the Predators open their season tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, against the Tampa Bay Lightning, the first official game of the hockey season. And usually he joins us on Wednesdays, John McClain at 10:15 today,
now,
talking NFL.
Explain to people. Somebody asked me why the Preds game is at 4:30 today, and please explain to the populace.
Well, because ESPN wanted to do a triple header and basically own it, and so they set up 3 games to cover, the late afternoon and into the primetime hours and evening, and which will culminate with Vegas being the final game, and they'll raise their banner tonight.
Smart.
Their
okay.
cup banner. So that's what it is. But I think it's pretty cool that 2 years in a row the Predators have been a part of the first game of the season.
I totally agree. And so coverage starts this afternoon right here at 3:30 on 102.5 The Game.
Yeah, very nice.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Max Hers will have pregame for you, and then the great Pete Weber and Hal Gill on the call around 4:30 with Puck Drop. So looking forward to that. I'm
Well
back.
done.
I made it back from the beach.
And you're the best because you brought me back beaver nuggets from Buc-ee's.
I did.
Which I'm not going to eat right now because if I do, I'll eat the whole bag. I'll feel bloated. I got to call a football game tonight, so I don't want Chip Walters have to go solo. But so I'll save it. But thank you. That's a very fine gesture, young man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Stopped there yesterday and picked up some stuff, and I saw the beaver nuggets, and I was like, JoJo would like these. Mainly because you've asked for them before,
man,
so
thanks.
I just figured I'd bring them to you.
Oh,
so.
that's great. Thank you. You're a good man.
Yep. So had a little time to digest and react to the Titans' loss. I'm still annoyed, and so it kind of sparked an idea. At 9:45, we're going to debut a new segment, and it's simply called I'm Done. And it requires your participation where you will call or text and tell us something you're done with. It can be a person. It can be a team. It can be a job, an entity, whatever.
Can they start piling on right now?
Yeah, I mean, we'll start compiling them right now.
Okay, all right.
But we'll do that at 9:45.
I'm done. I like that.
I'm done. Like, what is something you're done with?
Okay.
Basically like I'm done with this crap or, whatever.
Do you want one of mine right now? Or do you wait?
Sure. You can give the people some ideas.
Well, I'm done with a certain red light in the Donaldson Hermitage area that that I run now I slow down, make sure everybody's coming, then I run this red light every single time. So it's the one there in front of the Donaldson Hermitage YMCA. It's the worst red light on planet Earth. I run that red light. I'm done. I'm officially done with it. And that being said, I would like to get a chainsaw and chop the light down, but I know that's illegal, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm done with that red light. Done.
Okay. All right. I'll save mine for 9:45. I got a couple.
Okay. Oh, a couple. All right.
I think a lot of people to transition are done with Christian Fulton, and I'm wondering, is Mike Vrabel done with Christian Fulton? Because the vibe I get – well, here's the problem, though. And, I mean, we talked a little bit about it yesterday. But, I mean, you have Vrabel basically acknowledging that, yeah, I thought about benching him, but we challenged him. And then you got Fulton going, I thought I was good. I just had to play against the refs.
Right.
And it's like, wait, what?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, and he's like, what did Vrabel say? I talked to him at halftime, told him to watch out for the double move. What's going on? You're going to play the man, not the backfield, not the ball, and we're not looking for interception at that point. We're looking to just make sure he doesn't catch the ball. I mean, that was some good insight by Vrabel there, but the guy did none of that. So, but he going to put in there. It's easy to say we're going to replace you, but who do you put in there?
Well, I mean, I guess Trey Avery's the next man up, but like, are you at the point with this team that you're going to start benching? Because on paper, Fulton is one of your top corners. On paper, Chikakonkwo is your top tight end, but they're not playing like it. So
Right.
Are you ready to just say, all right, we're going to bench him because Josh Wiley had one good game at tight end, or a couple of good games, or a couple of good plays? I don't even know if I would say games, just a couple of good plays. Like, are you ready to go that far?
Trey Avery, in the words of C. Montgomery Burns, who? I don't know, but I'm looking at Fulton High School. He graduated 2 years ahead of Jamar Chase, same high school. So, I mean, it's not like he hasn't had competition to go against him, even going back to high school. He just, I don't know. It's odd, man. He just doesn't seem like there's a fire burning there with him. With a lot of guys, same way. There's not that fire. I mean, you watched the Packers-Raiders game last night. I mean, those guys were all over each other as far as internal, slapping each other, getting everybody fired up and everything. I didn't see any of that on Sunday from the Titans. It's just weird. And I know Jared said it yesterday a little bit, and we talked about it, but is Vrabel's message getting through anymore? I don't know. It's odd. It's really odd.
Well, we're going to get to that in just a second, because I spent, a lot of time in the car and listened to all of our shows yesterday and all the opinions, and I heard him say that and talk about that, and my antenna went up a little bit.
Wait, did I ruin your thing?
That's okay. We'll do it in a second.
Man, I'm so sorry, but I didn't know. I mean, it stood out to me as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that is the truth. I mean, I think it definitely is something that I think people have their mind on right now. And then, we talked a lot about that Baltimore is already in London. Vrabel was asked. I am very happy he got asked about it yesterday, and he just said, look, it worked for us in 2018 when we went. And so we just kind of kept it as is. And there were a few things that we tweaked. They're not staying at the Castle this time, but he said, look, just leave it on Thursday. That's what worked for us. And then he made a joke. He goes, because he was asked, like, is there something different? And he goes, yeah, we're going to get the 2-point conversion this time.
Oh, Braves gotten the jokes.
So, and I thought that was good. But so it did come up, and it I guess didn't get clarification. But, I mean, Jonathan Hutton said it yesterday that you can do whatever you want. There's no, like, if Baltimore leaves on Monday, they have to tell the Titans, and the Titans can decide, oh, well, maybe we want to leave on Monday and all that stuff. So, I mean, I thought that was the case, but it is an interesting little part of it, because now I would say that Baltimore has a little bit of an advantage because they're going to have more time to get acclimated.
I totally agree, and that's why I would leave as soon as possible, get over there, and you could still work out over there and get everything done you need to do back here. Not 100% everything, but close to 100% as you can go. And it was just an odd decision to leave Thursday afternoon, but I'm not on the team. I'm not making decisions. I do like the fact that people weighed in like, well, the reason to go on Thursday is because Amy Adams wanted to save money. She has $2 billion. Put it this way, if she takes her purse and loses it at Green Hills Mall with $100 million in it, she's still got $2 billion. That money's not a problem for them over there. I just find it just odd they're leaving Thursday afternoon. But, hey, whatever. They go out and win by 30 on Sunday.
Yeah, it won't matter. And like, that's the thing. We sit here and we overthink and overanalyze and think that, oh, okay, well, the message isn't getting through, and, oh, the team's not very good, and, Christian Fulton should be benched. Watch what's going to happen on Sunday. Fulton will have 2 interceptions. They'll win by 30. Everything will click. Jeffrey Simmons will have 2 sacks, and then we'll be sitting here going, Vrabel special. There we go. Go to London, go into the bye week, and you're 500.
But if they lose.
But if they lose.
And lose bad.
I think even – okay, let me ask you this.
Sure, buddy.
Same result as the last time they went to London. Lose by 1.
Whether you lose by 1 or by 50, you still lost.
100%.
Yeah.
But, we like to look at things – I say we. Certain people like to look at things of, yeah, but they were in it, and they got beat at the end.
Moral victories drive me insane. And that's it's a moral victory. Vanderbilt's been doing moral victories since 1968.
Look.
Let's not do
As somebody
this.
that's been a lifelong Vanderbilt fan,
Right.
We are a 10-time moral victory national champion.
At least you got all the trophies over there. I'd still, if you lose, you lose. But I mean, there are different, levels of how you got beat and all that. And if Fulton, gets you beat on Sunday, well, then that's on you. That's on
Sure.
Vrabel. If you put him in there and you get beat, he lets you get beat on Sunday, then that's on you. But just who knows? Go over there and I mean, the Ravens are not the best team in the NFL. I mean, they got problems as well.
They got warts. I mean, look, I don't know. I think the only team that, like, as I like to say, is as advertised right now without, like, I can't find a hole in their game plan at all would be San Francisco.
Oh, yeah. And the Eagles are right next to him.
The Eagles are next to him, but the Eagles are beatable. Like, the Eagles have either that or they're just bored, and they kind of show you that they get bored and then they turn it on at the end, which I kind of am starting to think maybe that's what Georgia's doing in college football, that they just it's like,
Right.
yeah, we're that good that we can afford to be bored enough to let you think, like a cat and mouse game, like let you think you have a chance and then
they do
chop
that.
your head off at the end.
Did you, with Philadelphia, it's still, I mean, a really good team. Did you hear what they named the quarterback sneak? I love it.
The tush push?
There's another name for it.
No, what is it?
The brotherly shove.
Oh,
The
okay.
brotherly shove. I think
like
it's
that,
just
actually.
fantastic. Whoever came up with that deserves some coffee.
It was you, Joe Dubin.
It was not. I'm not that creative. I can barely open a door. But that is fantastic. The brotherly shove. They're going to have to some rule that's going to come out where they're going to have to outlaw. That play is going to be illegal next year.
They've been talking about it.
What, the tush push? They better not.
Yep.
Why? What's wrong with it? Why should it be illegal?
Well, I think because you're shoving a runner ahead, and they're going to put something like, you can't do that. He needs to advance on his own. They'll come up with something.
If you listen to the announcers on the broadcast for the Eagles, if it's a nationally broadcast game, they mention a lot. They make sure they mention Jalen Hurts. He squats 600 pounds. There's a way he gets past the
Right.
line.
Look.
I'm like, what?
We've been doing the tush push on Black Friday in Walmart for years.
All right.
All right. You find you and I find Frazier, and we get up behind him and just shove him through. I mean, like, now Goodell and the NFL want to come in here and ruin something that's entertaining and good for the game, because that's what they always do.
Well, I'm not saying that they 100% will, but I guarantee
Oh, I
it,
wouldn't be
they'll
surprised.
look at this and say, all right, you can't do that. You can't. Because wasn't it Leinart and Bush versus Notre Dame in 2005?
That was the Bush push.
Yeah, shoved Leinart in the end zone, and they win the ball game. And so they'll come up with something where you can't do this, and you can't, he's got to be able to advance it on his own, which is garbage. We all know that. So but it's hard to stop. I mean, Hurts is a strong guy. He's a big guy. If you need a yard or two, it's a great play. Just do it. I thought that's what they're going to do with Jeff Simmons against the Bengals game.
Yeah, me too. And I
Just
wonder if they
shove
thought about it.
somebody through there. I'm sure every team has, but they don't want to feel like, well, we're copying that team. Well, if it gets you 2 yards and you need one, copy it. Who cares?
It's funny. Kelly Holcomb said one time when he was on that, like, quarterback sneaks, and he hates it because, like, the quarterback usually gets hurt, if it's not done right, because he's the one that just has all these 300-pound linemen that fall on top of him. So, but
I'm with them.
I get it.
I hate quarterback scripted run plays. I hate it. I mean, because you can go at 3 or 4 yards and get the chance of a free shot. Your quarterback getting nailed out like that. Was Richardson's was that a pass? Was that a design run? I don't remember.
I don't either.
I
think it was a run.
I think it was too.
Yeah.
I'll look it up for you,
Thank
Joe.
you,
Maybe
Dr.
right.
Crane, because we can't figure things out here.
Coming up next.
There we go.
I did hear Jared say something yesterday, and I actually think I agree with him, which is scary to say.
You still drunk from Florida?
I could be. But also tune in to 93.3 Classic Hits tonight to hear JoJo and Chip Walters for MTSU football. The Blue Raiders will kick off at 6 o'clock, pregame at 5 at home against Louisiana Tech. Coverage also available on the 93.3 Classic Hits app and 93.3classichits.com. 615-737-1025. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
He knows Nashville sports.
And you've got Mike Vrabel in what feels like sort of a back against the wall game. They're at their best.
And he's not scared to tell it like it is.
They need to go on the road and win a game.
He is Outkick's Chad Withrow.
16 5-star players and 52 4-star players.
Withrow joins Stillman and Company every Friday at 5. Brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
They still have all of the talent.
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
To know what makes Genesis Diamonds so special, you have to understand its origin. Back when owner Boaz Ramon used to sell diamonds only to jewelry stores.
I was selling to more than 700 jewelry stores. I didn't like what I saw.
What he saw in retail stores was grossly inflated prices, limited selection, pricing games, and a sales process that put the customer at a disadvantage. And it motivated this wholesaler to start his own retail revolution.
My passion was to build a place where the customer is going to be very informed. We're not going to hide any information from him. We're not going to have to get diamonds from other people. We're not going to mark up our prices to mark them down.
So Genesis was born. No middleman markups, no commission salespeople, industry-leading warranties, 30 times the selection, a no-holds-barred diamond education that empowers the customer, and a refreshing, relaxed, no-pressure atmosphere.
We created a place where the consumer is the king.
Come and get the royal treatment today. Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? Look no further than Big Play Hendersonville. Get ready to embark on an adventure like no other. Whether you're a kid or a kid at heart, Big Play Hendersonville has something for everyone. And right now, you can get half off a $50 gift card to check out all they have to offer, from bowling to laser tag, indoor go-karts, bumper cars, and more. They offer fantastic food options as well. Big Play isn't just a place, it's an experience. Get half off now at the Game Nashville.com/deals.
Are you drowning in credit card debt? Want to get cash out of your home's equity? Loan Pronto can do it now in less than a week. Hey, Willie Donick here. That's right. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit just got even faster. You can get $50,000, $100,000, even $200,000 in as little as 5 days. You don't even have to touch your primary mortgage. You can keep that 3% rate intact. Get just the money you need and pay off all those credit cards, or get that home improvement project started. With this revolutionary program, you can access up to 90% of your home's value, and in most cases, there's no appraisal. Stop paying insane interest rates to the credit card companies and get tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash in as little as 5 days. Call Loan Pronto now for the even faster Equity Express line. 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780, or go to loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
All the big plays.
And we are done. Vandy 24-21.
All the big stories.
I'm sure Vandy will be a much better team if Clark Lee is the coach.
All in one place. We are Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3.
What a stop by UC Sarah.
Then he wouldn't end up on my team.
Driving his way to victory lane.
I think that's the right strategy.
The Game and the Game Nashville app. You're listening to the Chase and Big Joe Show.
Does your father know you're working here?
It was his idea.
In that case, I'll have a whiskey sour.
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
You talked about an example of maybe a guy trying to be a little too eager to try to make a turnover. You talk so much about it. Is it just not happening, or are there other things that defensively you're not doing to put you in the right position to make it happen?
Well, you could tip a ball at the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? We don't tip any passes that then get intercepted. Talk about tip balls getting intercepted, so we don't tip any at the line of scrimmage. We don't hammer any footballs out. The ball was never in jeopardy yesterday. Quarterbacks are usually the number one target, and when you hit the quarterback 2 times, it's hard to think that you're going to get the football out when you can only hit them twice.
That was Mike Vrabel yesterday talking about his team and everything going on. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game, 615-737-1025. So I asked this question, and I heard Jared talking about it yesterday, and it got my attention. It's not has Vrabel lost the team necessarily. It's just, is the message not getting through to some of the players anymore?
I think that is a problem in every locker room at some point. You know, not everybody's going to be tuned in. If you get all guys tuned in, then you got a winning football team. But I just think there's certain pockets of a football team are never going to listen to the coach. You know, I mean, Deion Sanders said in that 60 Minutes interview, "I'll never coach pro football because a guy making more money than me is not going to listen to me." And we could laugh about that.
Which is such BS because he's going to be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Probably. But if you go on what he says just on that right there, if it's not Deion saying, somebody else saying that, then it says a lot. I mean, it does. And so I don't know if the message has fallen on deaf ears, but I think there's a disconnect between Vrabel and that football team.
Well, this is what Jared Stillman said yesterday on Stillman and Company. And I heard this, and I mean, immediately it got my attention. And I'm like, I think he's on to something.
I think he's the same arrogant a-hole that somehow, some way knows how to get the group to unify and has done it for the last 6 years. But I just don't think the group is listening anymore. I don't think they listen to the coach. And I don't know what it is that has just clicked everybody's brain off. I don't know. Was it the fact that Vrabel got promoted in the offseason and so he's a part of the organizational hierarchy and they went and asked one of the most popular and most productive players to take a pay cut and maybe that rubbed people the wrong way? I don't know. Did they kick out too many of the guys that Vrabel didn't think were team-first guys, and so they've got a bunch of softies in there now? I don't know. Was it the fact that the guys that Vrabel had, when he inherited this group, the Logan Ryans, the Jarrell Caseys, the Delaney Walkers, that those guys were really great leaders, and that this group of guys have not been able to replicate that? The Simmonses and the Byards and that they have not been, I don't know.
So that was Jared Stillman yesterday. And there was one piece of that really got my attention. And it reminded me of a story that someone told me one time.
Okay.
They used to work for the Titans. I'm not going to say who it is. But they talked about how they noticed, like overnight, a change when Jeff Fisher added executive vice president to his title. When he was not the head coach anymore, just the head coach, he moved upstairs. And you know this, like there's upstairs and there's downstairs. The upstairs, that's the front office. That's where the GM is and all the execs, the coaches and the players and all those guys, they're downstairs. The equipment guys, the weight room. And so when you have people that are on both floors, it changes things. You're going through two different doors now because you got to play both sides. And so when Jared said that, I was reminded of that story of how, that person told me like there was a change because all of a sudden Jeff had more power and now Vrabel has more power. And so if you're a player and any player, I mean, you're going to look at things a little bit differently. And then, the whole pay cut thing. And, while, yes, Ran Carthon was kind of in front of that, and he was the one that was like, yeah, I asked him to do that. If you're one of the other players, are you kind of thinking, well, how much did Vrabel have to do with that?
Exactly. That's a good point.
It creates that extra thought of, well, I mean, because what is the thing that we have always heard about Mike Vrabel? Players coach. Because he played the game.
I was going to say meathead. All right, but go ahead.
Well, that too. But play the game. Played the game at a high level. Won 3 Super Bowls. But like every player I've ever asked about him, former or current, it's always been like, yeah, he speaks the language, man. He knows. He's been in those wars. He gets it. And that's all still true. Because as Jared said, I mean, he comes across the same way, even though I do think at times he's been a little nicer this year in media settings. And maybe that's because, again, he's upstairs. He's got to play the game a little bit differently now.
Well, I think the Byard thing, I think that is more than what we probably know, because you're right. You're taking one of the most popular players, as he said. Jared said, and you ask him to take a pay cut, and you're like, why this guy? Well, what has he done? I mean, he still plays at a high level, one of the top 3, 4, 5 safeties in National Football League, and now you're asking him to take a pay cut? And then you kind of deny it, and him and Haw about it, and all that goes on will come out, and then you admit it. I mean, just all the stuff that went along with it. I think that affects people. It's like, all right, I'm playing my tail off, but am I going to have to be a pay cut too? I mean, it all goes hand in hand with all that's going on, and I think that did far more PR damage than we know. I think that's big time, more than we know, and with Byard being the stand-up guy he was and is, and not fighting that battle in the press or through social media, only just kind of fortified how great we think he is as a player and a person. And so I think there's a lot of problems on the horizon, I think, if it keeps going down this path, Chase McCabe.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, but the thing is, like, and we all understand the business. There is a business side to all of this. I get that. But when you have the head coach, and you know, look, I can speak from my personal experience. I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. You know, I'm one of the guys. I'm on the air, but I'm also program director. So it was a difficult transition for me when I kind of went to that, because I'm upstairs, downstairs now. But you know, for him and for a football team, I can understand that there are some guys that are going to look at him differently, and they're always going to have that side eye going of like, okay, is this message coming from the head coach, or is this message coming from the business side that, you know, that Amy's telling him, or, you know, he and Rand are talking about, or what have you? It's hard. And Floyd used to talk about that too, that when he transitioned from coaching to the front office, that it changed relationships. And he, you know, talked about Jeff Fisher and that changing of a relationship. So, I mean, it is a thing, and it's never going to go away. It's a part of it. And I'm never going to fault somebody for, you know, advancing their career. But, you know, when you're trying to be the head coach of a football team, and you can just tell, you said it yesterday and you said it this morning,
Thanks.
That something's off. The mannerisms, like, just they don't seem inspired, and they used to because of his message.
Who's running that football team? Who do you think is running the organization?
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, and so he, you know, these coaches all want control. I mean, they all do. I mean, that's just what it is. I don't fault Mike Vrabel for that, but sometimes you have to delegate things that go on. And I mean, can you see Rand Carthon going to his office like, "Hey, Mike, you got a second? What about this guy here?" Or do you see Mike Vrabel going to Rand's office saying, "Hey, you know, I'm liking what this guy. There's this guy out there we need to get." I think it's totally Rand going to him.
Look. I like Rand. I really do. I mean, I've been able to talk to him a few times. I mean, very personable guy. But if you're using the Batman and Robin analogy, he's Robin. I mean, Vrabel's Batman.
I haven't, but now that's all I'm going to see.
Yeah, and I mean, Batman is Vrabel.
Right. Now, does you might know this. Does somebody try to give him credit for drafting Brock Purdy? Is that yes or no?
Yeah, and I do think he deserves a little bit of it, because that was his job. One of his jobs was to basically, you know, scout and come up with a profile for those guys that are like if you're the head coach, you have no idea anything beyond round 3. You're probably not paying attention to.
Yeah, you're right.
So you had guys on the staff that's their job, and so he found Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell's one that he, you know, gets credit for, and he talked about that in his opening press conference when he was introduced. And then, you know, he was a part of the crew that found Purdy. So
that was a pretty good pick. Have you seen Purdy's college highlight tape?
Yeah,
it's about as average as you can.
Oh, I
get.
know.
If maybe some of those passes were awful.
I mean, I think it shows you why Kyle Shanahan is the best coach in football right now.
Pretty good.
I mean, he's pretty impressive with what he's done with quarter. I mean, they've had a revolving door with quarterbacks.
Even blowing the Trey Lance pick. I mean, it was awful.
Yeah, and I mean who knows? I mean, like if he stayed healthy, maybe he could have done something with him. But it's like once you figure out that you got something in Purdy.
Purdy looks good.
And the crazy part about Purdy is, I don't know if you saw this last week. He did an interview with somebody and he said he still has a roommate and he still drives his like Toyota Sequoia because he's only making like $850,000 a year. Which,
that's it.
I mean, like, look, I would be like, hey, I'll take that. All day
I'm trying
long.
to make my Discover card payment by Friday. I'll figure it out. But I mean, we love the success stories, and the last guy in the draft, 7th round. Now he's the best quarterback, or one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League, and on a team that's on a collision course to get to the Super Bowl in February. It's great. It's a great story.
615-737-1025. Do you think that Mike Vrabel's message is still getting through to the players? Want to know what you think. 615-737-1025. That is our phone line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. It is the Chase and Big Joe Show. Hey, we're presented by Regal Realty Group. Appreciate them for being on board with us here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
One is a legendary NFL wide receiver.
I gotta be prepared. I have to be ready.
One is a legendary Nashville voice.
You don't have to rely on carrying the ball 250 to 300 times.
And the other has been a legendary trash talker on the playground since the 4th grade.
Nobody is a Pro Bowler on day one of rookie minicamp.
They are Caroline, Willie, and D-Mace. Weekdays at 11 on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It's the final week of the Electronic Express 40th anniversary sale. Visit any of our convenient locations and save up to 40% throughout the entire store. This week, get a TCL 55-inch 4K TV for only $269, or a stainless steel refrigerator only $499. Plus, get up to 60 months special financing on items like a top-load laundry pair, only $349 each, or an HP touchscreen laptop just $699. Sale ends Saturday. Electronic Express. We make it happen.
It's time to celebrate this fall and unleash the beast. Monster Brewing proudly presents to you Beast Unleashed. 0 caffeine, 0 sugar, all the adult beverage fun. The Beast is unleashed with great taste, bold familiar flavors, and 6% alcohol. Go wild with Mean Green, White Haze, Peach Perfect, and Scary Berries. Don't fear the Beast. Enjoy Beast Unleashed at your next tailgate or football party. Drink responsibly. Must be 21 and over.
Discover, this is Danny.
Hi, it's Jen Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great. But with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Are you hungry? 'Cause everyone left after the asparagus sorbet.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashback debit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer Sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair's gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/primetime and use code PRIMETIME. That's code PRIMETIME at prizepicks.com/primetime for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Hey, We'd love to hear from you. Give us a call on the phone line, sponsored by Wilson County Hyundai.
Yes, I'm looking for a friend of mine. Last name Jazz, first name Hugh.
615-737-1025.
Hugh Jazz. Chase and Big Joe are on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hal Gill coming up at 10 o'clock. We'll talk about the Predators opener with him. And also John McClain, a different day and time for him this week. Had to move some stuff around, so he'll join us at 10:15.
Also, the music coming back. Happy birthday to the greatest frontman in rock and roll history, David Lee Roth. Birthdays today. Because it's his birthday, he will not be eligible for celebrity birthdays at 10:45.
I haven't looked.
Right? Doesn't
Why
matter.
can't he be?
Oh, okay. Well, just don't look then.
I'm not going to look. I mean, if it's I know it's his birthday. I don't know his age.
Okay.
I think I know his age. I'm taking a guess.
Well, we'll find out later on.
Yes,
but,
we will. We'll do that at 10:40. And then at 9:45, in 10 minutes, the debut of a new segment called I'm Done. Caller participation. And I think we have some MTSU tickets to give away.
I love it.
On that. But we'll have a prize every week.
Okay.
But it's called I'm Done. So something you're done with. It can be something or someone. And you'll let us know at 615-737-1025. So we'll do that at 9:45.
We will get it done. Oh, real quick, thanks to Regal Realty Group, proud sponsor of the Chase McCabe and Big Joe Show. They can help you from contract to close, help you find a home, help sell a home, write the contract, schedule inspections, appraisal, and make sure all paperwork is correct with the state. It's so easy to do business with Regal Realty Group. Let them do all the heavy lifting. Search Regal Realty Group today. Hunter Briley and the gang. Fantastic people over there.
Yeah, they are fantastic, and glad to have them on board with us. So asking you the question, is the message getting through from Mike Vrabel to his team? 615-737-1025. Or is it, with a personality like that? I mean, like, let's compare it to this. Do you think the message is getting through from Bill Belichick right now?
No.
Not at all. He's going to get fired or retire or whatever. He's not going to
fire that guy.
Well, that's what I think. At the end of the year, he's going to retire.
I don't think so, and here's why. I think Robert Kraft loves the spotlight. He loves titles. He loves championships, and the fact that he could have a head coach at his organization beat Don Shula's record. He's, 12 away, 15 away, something? But the way they're playing now, he might not get it for another 30 years.
No.
I think Robert Kraft would love to have Bill Belichick beat Don Shula's record for most wins. I really, really do. And, they bombed it in free agency, spent all that money a few years ago, did terrible. Jonnu Smith was terrible. And I think Hunter Henry's okay, the big tight ends they signed. But I think you give him – I mean, he's got to have a long leash, right? It's Bill Belichick.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and I think Vrabel and Robinson tried to do this too. The whole, okay, you get a guy to a certain level, then you got to pay him, and you move on, and you bring somebody else in, and you do it all over again. That worked for them when they had Tom Brady, because Brady could cover up a lot of that stuff. You don't have that now. I would say the Chiefs, okay? Look at the Chiefs right now. Who do they have that blows you away at wide receiver?
It's a good point.
Nobody.
Richie James?
Maybe one guy, Rashee Rice, possibly. I mean, it doesn't blow me away, but
who is that? I don't even know who that is.
There's upside. It's messing you.
Right, but I mean, to my point, I don't even know who that is.
That's true.
You
That's
know,
valid.
he maybe one day you'll be right and we'll say that, but
Right.
Kelsey is the guy. You have Kelsey.
Who's open on every play, by the way.
Right. Just like you had Gronk and Brady.
Gronk was so good.
But Mahomes is already Hall of Fame caliber. He covers up a lot of the deficiencies.
All right, I'm a funny story that I was told. Lawyer Malloy played with the Patriots from 96 to 2002. And before their home game in the 2003 season, the Patriots the program had made 100,000 programs for game day, right? And Lord Malloy's on the cover and all like that. And 4 or 5 days before the opening, Bill Belichick cuts him because he wouldn't take a paycheck.
I remember that.
So they went to Belichick allegedly and said, hey, and he's like, really? You're going to come to me with the program and I should keep this guy who's not taking a pay cut? Basically get out of my office. So you see the things of you're going to cut a player, it doesn't matter what's going on. The coach still runs the team and all that. But that's the thing is that, the coaches at the final of the day, Belichick's got all that power, and I'm sure all other coaches want that power. I'm sure Vrabel wants that power as well to say, hey, here's what we're going to do.
Yep. Okay, so somebody on the text line asked what Mike's title was. Is he more than the head coach? So I was like, okay, that's a fair thing to ask. So I go to the website. He's listed as the head coach. However, here's the difference.
Okay. Ooh.
He's not listed under coaching. He's listed under football executive leadership. And there are two people there, Mike Vrabel and Ran Carthon. And that wasn't the case before. When Robinson was there, he was under coaching and listed as the head coach.
That's an interesting.
So yeah, I mean it goes along like they haven't gone as far because Fisher had he was the executive vice president and head coach.
Yes,
he had that title. I think Floyd was the one that gave it to him, but he had that title. So with this, they want to try and be like, yeah, well, it's a partnership and it's collaboration and. Amy has the final word.
What's the Bill Parcells line? If I'm going to cook the food,
They want you to cook the dinner, but they won't let you buy the groceries.
Okay, this is odd.
And look, to an extent, I get it. To an extent, like I think the head coach, the guy that has to do the job, should have an influence on what players are there because the players got to fit his system. So to an extent, I get that.
Why didn't we have, when I came back here to this great radio station, when Ran Carthon walks in the facility over there and all the fake clapping and laughing and all that, why didn't we have that for me? Why didn't we have
done that?
The showering with praise and welcome back and walking down the hallway.
Goodness, we should have done that.
Oh, man, the things you've kind of come afterwards like that.
There are so many ideas I've had over the years that we haven't done that would have been hilarious. Like when – For those of you that have been around a while, Dave Ramsey was on this station for about a year.
Yep.
So there's that. But the idea I had was lining up everybody down the hallway and having him at the end doing everybody's taxes.
He would have never.
He would have never done
gone for that.
But it was funny in my mind.
Oh heck yeah, that's awesome. That's hilarious.
A couple more texts on this. Let's see. Jason and Dover, they played with a purpose last week, but this week, garbage. So they heard a message against the Bengals, but not against the Colts. I'm not buying it. I think they just don't have the talent. That very well could be true. I think both could be true.
Yeah, you're right.
At this point. Josh from Lebanon says, I think the Titans are going down the same path the Predators had with Peter Laviolette. The message is falling on ears that have heard it so much that it's becoming white noise. That's a good one.
I do think they want moment. I think, let me put this, 3 years out momentum going into that at least 2 years out momentum going in that stadium, meaning that they don't want like back-to-back 4-13 squads as they head to the new stadium. I really think, and the people are like, well, the Tennessee Oilers, look, the Oilers were in 1998 and 97 weren't that bad. The 98 team wasn't that bad. They were 8-6.
They went 3 straight years of 8-8, didn't they?
And they moved 18 times and everything goes on that way. But they were 8-6, and Derek was there. I mean, it was a football team that almost made the playoffs after everything that went on in 1998. Then they hit 99 and just rolled with all that. So,
Allie in Bellevue says the Belichick coaching tree isn't due to Brady, though, is it? Many pro coaches and players are obsessed with his strategies. Name me the most successful Brady assistant or Belichick assistant.
How long do we have?
I don't think you can.
Saban? You're talking pro.
Yeah,
though.
I mean,
you're talking pros.
Yeah,
pro football.
Yeah,
there's
pro
not
football. No, I mean, the answer might be, and it's not a great answer, but the answer might be Bill O'Brien.
Who?
I mean, they want.
He traded Hopkins out of Houston.
He traded. Well, he was a terrible GM.
Who's that big Sasquatch guy that went to Detroit, had hair on his back? He was the coordinator. What was his name?
Big beard. Yeah.
Oh,
Patricia.
Matt Patricia that he brought back last year.
Yeah.
Who was a defensive coach and said, "Hey, you'll be the offensive coordinator."
It was just we had that pencil on over his ear.
Yeah.
Look, the only person that can wear a pencil over his ear is Jim Wyatt. That's the only person. But that guy was a disaster. Josh McDaniels is a disaster.
Josh McDaniels is terrible. I think it's Bill O'Brien. I mean, Bill O'Brien won like 3 or 4 division titles in Houston.
Yeah,
but then what happened? What happened?
Got a little,
he got the power.
Oh, it became GM,
He
right?
became GM, and he tried to be Belichick, and he traded DeAndre Hopkins.
Because was it allegedly that his quote-unquote baby mamas, he didn't want them hanging around
Yeah,
or something?
that was a Michael Irvin clip that D-Hop had told Irvin that he had a meeting with Billy O, and he said, look, I don't want your baby mamas showing up to the facility.
What an idiot. Just, look, can you play football?
And he was listening to wasn't it the chaplain that was basically like
that's right,
the guy behind the curtain?
Yeah, why not just like, look, are you a good person? Can you play football? Can you give me everything you got? Okay, let's go play football. Your baby mama's showing. I mean, come on. And so you saw what happened in Houston. They're still a downward spiral. They got some sunshine now because Stroud looks good and a few other things, but what a disaster.
615-737-1025. Real quick, Chris wants to weigh in on this. Chris, what's up?
Hey, guys. Yeah, I was thinking about this with Vrabel yesterday. And if you remember a couple years ago when they went to the AFC, or they were the number one seed, he basically had a team full of practice squad players that were willing to run through a brick wall for him. And I'm not seeing that now. And he's developed a habit of calling out his players in public, which I don't remember him doing in the early years.
Great
point. Which may be causing some problems in the locker room. And then, like you said, his title change. And, this team is still recovering from getting so close a couple years ago, only for J-Rob, Vrabel, and Amy to make a bunch of bad decisions. And I think Vrabel is feeling the pressure on trying to figure out how to make it work now that he has more power. And the players may be suffering because of it.
Yeah. Appreciate the call, Chris. Good call.
So they have, I think I saw Paul Kuharsky's tweet at the beginning of the season, 24 new players on this team. So, yeah, I mean, you try to get guys who are going to buy into what you're doing and what you're preaching and what you're teaching and what you're selling. That's a great call.
Yep.
Put Chris in the Hall of Fame there, Dr. Crane.
Henry says the Titans are the same as my golf clubs. They have a loft problem and a lack of bleeping talent. Thank you, Henry.
Thank you, Henry, for
appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, we're a little late. Sorry about that. It's called I'm Done. What are you done with? 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. You can call or text. You just let it out. Let's all vent. What are you done with? 615-737-1025.
It's Pete Weber. Tonight, the regular season gets underway as the Predators head to Tampa to take on the Lightning. Join Max Urs, Hal Gill, and me starting at 3:30.
Your home for Smashville is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
The holidays are a time of celebration and Thanksgiving. It's a time to host friends and family in your home to enjoy good food and good times. The last thing you need is an unexpected issue. If you're planning a gathering this season, take a few minutes to bring out the home experts from Lee Company. For heating, plumbing, electrical, and all your home improvement needs, Lee Company has you covered. Visit LeeCompany.com and schedule your first appointment online. Lee Company, all you need.
Willie Donick here for Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. The official brand perception report for doors and windows is in. Pella Windows and Doors are the leading brand among all others. A few reasons why. Pella is regarded as the highest quality, the most innovative, and the installers with Pella of Nashville lead the way for attention to detail. That's why Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville is one of Pella's top locations in the country. For new doors or windows, I suggest you choose the experts at Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Go to PellaNashville.com.
Hey home buyers, TJ Anderson here. Are you looking for a luxury home on over an acre, 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, and close to 7,000 square feet? 6551 Brownlee Drive in Nashville's Westmead neighborhood offers that and a 4th car garage, all by an award-winning builder. Text the number 1 to 615-420-2377 for pricing and info. Want your home listing to be seen and heard by home buyers? Google TJ Anderson Homes and see why we are referred by clients so often. TJ Anderson Homes at Benchmark Realty, office number 615-432-2919.
Teddy's Tavern, downtown's newest bar with an old Nashville feel, is conveniently located across the street from Bridgestone Arena and just blocks away from the pedestrian bridge. Get a taste of the new brunch menu to fuel your Titans Day pride on game day. Pre-game specials from 9 a.m. till kickoff when the Titans play at home include 2-for-1 draft beers, mimosas, and Bloody Marys. Teddy's Tavern is where you want to be before every Titans home game, so come downtown early and meet me at Teddy's.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text SIZZLE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text SIZZLE to 42424. That's SIZZLE to 42424.
Vanderbilt football lives here.
This Saturday, it's Vanderbilt and Georgia from First Bank Stadium. Kickoff at 11 a.m. Coverage starts at 9:30.
Your home for the Commodores is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Sports Talk, the next generation. You're listening to The Jason Big Joe Show.
Make it so.
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Not David Lee Roth, but still Van Halen. That's okay. No worries about that.
He's so adorable back there.
I know. He did the quick fade down. Like,
I'm just trying to.
Dr. Crane, you get it, man. We'll teach you everything. Don't you worry.
Teach me the ways, Joseph.
You stick with us, you'll be fine.
Just include us in your Wikipedia page one day. All right, Jason.
You got it.
Chasing Big Joe Show, presented by Regal Realty Group. All right, a new segment. We're going to do this every Tuesday at 9:45. I've been trying to think of a venting segment for all of us and the people, and it's simply called I'm Done. What are you done with? Are you done with a person? Are you done with, like, I want somebody to call in and be like, I'm done with, significant other or whatever. That would be entertaining.
Okay.
But, sorry. but are you done with a situation? Are you done with a place, a team? A lot of you are done with the Titans in certain ways right now. So 615-737-1025. That is our phone and text line, driven by Wilson County Hyundai.com. Couple of texts. Ricky says, I'm done with Fulton. He needs to be benched now. Okay, I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah,
Figured a lot of people.
A lot of thought behind that one.
What are you done with?
Our friend Nick Barris just texted me. He says, I'm done with all the talk of the SEC, which is down this year. The big game this week is out west, or the big game is out west. Oregon versus Washington. Go Ducks. He's got a point there. There's only one SEC team in the top 10, and that's Georgia.
Yeah.
And Oregon and Washington playing good. I mean, yeah. But the SEC will rise again, Nick. So
sure, it always does.
Don't you worry about that. So thank you, Nick Barris, for weighing in. Go get some breaking news, buddy.
Thank you, Nick. Gary says, I'm done working for an employer who doesn't care if I'm employed or not. I'm tired of working 40 hours of never getting to take vacations because we are short-staffed. But every damn holiday, the admin staff takes a holiday and posts pictures every damn week of being on another vacation.
Yes.
Middle finger emoji.
Yeah.
LOL.
Who's that from?
Gary.
Job, Gary. We've all been there, Gary, at some point, sometime.
100% believe
Yeah,
that.
good job with that. Yeah. All right, what are you done with?
Jason in Dover. I'll get to that in a second. Jason in Dover. I'm done with Jared and his dramatic conspiracy theories.
Okay.
I feel like he's going to come up in this segment a lot.
Okay, good. People are listening. That's all. Hey, I like the people like, I don't know. I don't pay attention to you. Then they'll name the 9 things you've done in the last week.
Yeah.
Which always makes me laugh.
Here's who I am done with. I am done with someone that, has been near and dear to me for a few years now. And after Sunday, I'm like, I'm done.
Milwaukee's best.
No. No.
Schaefer Light.
Dak Prescott.
Oh, okay.
I am done with Dak Prescott. He's not – I mean, and a lot of people have come to this conclusion a long time ago, and I hung on as long as I could. You're on the big stage on Sunday Night Football, and that's all we get. Stepping up, can't make the big plays, can't lead your team to winning a big game on the road like that. And that's been his case basically since he came in. And I get it. He was a fourth-round pick out of Mississippi State, but he won some big games in college. He basically took the job from Tony Romo and forced Romo into retirement and into the TV booth. Now it's worked out for Romo because I think he's making more money doing that than he was playing in the NFL.
Right.
But you're the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
There's something different that comes with that. Troy Aikman's talked about it time and time again. I've heard Roger Staubach and Danny White. There's just, whether you like it or not, whether it's fair or it isn't, there is something different that comes with being the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, and you have to own that. And I don't think Dak does. So I'm done with Dak.
He's in his 8th year.
I know. And what's he won? Hasn't won
Evidently
anything.
not your heart.
No, he lost it.
He did. Okay. Dr. Crane, you got something? What are you done with, brother?
You know, I didn't know we were going to do this today, but I am done with something. I'm done with people that drive with no purpose. That I'm out there driving home from work or to work. People don't know how to drive out there. They just don't. It bothers me. And then on the other side of things, I'm waving at people saying, thanks for letting me over. No wave back. I let somebody else through. No wave.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Kaharski has said it before on the morning show. Nobody waves. It bothers me to no end. I'm done with it. I'm trying not to be a New York driver in Nashville. I'm trying to have some Southern hospitality. But you know what? If nobody wants to play nice, I'm not going to play their game, but I'm not going to play nice either.
Okay.
Well done.
I like that.
Oh, he
That's
stood
good.
up,
There's some
too.
passion.
Pointing at us.
Brought the passion.
I liked it. Yeah, I got, and I'm saying I'm done with, but that's the deal. If I let you out in traffic, just wave at me.
Yeah.
I just
Nobody waves anymore.
That's all I
need a wave.
ask. One little wave. Hey, how you doing?
If you don't, I'm going to ride your bumper to the next, I don't know, an act tough to the
There's
next.
so when you're getting on Briley down here
Yep.
On Murfreesboro Road, there's 2 lanes come together, and then there's a third lane that comes in that has a giant yield sign.
Yeah.
I'm done with people not knowing what the hell a yield sign means.
I had that
happen. Pull out in front of me.
Yesterday, that happened to me. Somebody's going to do a yield sign. They stop completely. There's nobody coming, no oncoming traffic. Don't stop. You yield.
Yeah.
There's the word is yield. Not
That's
stop.
fine. But if I have the right of way, you don't just gun it.
Don't you dare.
Yes.
Don't you dare do that.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to come a day where I'm going to get hit in the door, and then I'm going to get out and just rip somebody's head off. And then y'all are going to be like, where's Chase? Oh, he's in jail.
No, if you get hit, just you injure your back and you call Bart Durham. I mean, that's what you do. Everybody knows that. Come on, man. What's your
All
problem?
right, real quick. Indy Ben says, done with listening to Stillman and his horrendous Colts takes. He's clueless when talking about them. 5728, I'm done with Tennessee sports. All teams suck across the state. Oh, no, we suck again. That's good. Michael, I'm done with Twitter. I got so tired of people complaining about Tannehill after games when he's not the problem that I deleted the app entirely. Michael
Oh, wow.
Madison. Wow, that's good. Rashad from Smyrna, I'm done with the call center voice automation. No, you can't help me, agent.
Nice.
Henry says there will be zero, and I mean zero, Schaefer Light slander on these airways.
Oh, gosh.
Somebody says Dak is Romo 2.0. 9748 says, I'm done with letting Jared blame Mike Vrabel for this team losing and never saying it's partly J-Rob's fault. He said it's J-Rob's fault.
There's a lot of blame to go around.
People have selective hearing sometimes, especially
Yes.
when it comes to Jared. Nate says, as a Cowboys fan, I'm done pretending Dak is anything above an average quarterback. If Dallas extends him without an NFC Championship appearance, it'll be a huge mistake. Caleb in Gallatin says, I'm done with people that automatically blame Tannehill for every loss the Titans have. The one I'll put on him is the Saints game. Yeah, I agree with that.
Good point. Yep.
5956, I'm done with Bryce Harper's attitude. Glad to see him burned on the bases. Go Bryce. Yeah, but that was awesome last night. Suck it, Phillies. That was awesome.
Wow.
Sorry, I got really excited there for a second. Did you see the ending to that game?
I did see the ending of that game. Yeah.
Michael Harris is a dude
Yep.
making that play, and then Bryce gets doubled up. That
Could
was
you
awesome.
throw the ball from center field like that to second base?
No.
I mean,
But you know that. Like, why
I mean,
ask me?
I could, but I would rip every tendon and ligament out of my shoulder doing that.
All right, good participation on the first go. We'll do this every Tuesday at 9:45. I'm done. It'll be a brand new segment. Coming up next, we'll talk to Hal Gill, Predators analyst, and get his thoughts on tonight's game as the Predators will open. See, Shane, we are going to talk about it. Just cool your horses. That's next. 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Hal Gill here for my good friends at Dunkin'. I get my Dunks every morning. I grew up with Dunkin' in Boston, and it's been my favorite ever since. Fall in love with Dunkin's pumpkin coffee, lattes, muffins, and donuts. Made with their signature high-quality coffee, each sip and bite is sure to delight. Perfect for those cool autumn mornings or as a sweet treat any time of day. You won't be able to resist the delicious pumpkin flavor. Get pumped for pumpkin. Stop by Dunkin' today.
Are you drowning in credit card debt? Want to get cash out of your home's equity? Loan Pronto can do it now in less than a week. Hey, Willie Donick here. That's right. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit just got even faster. You can get $50,000, $100,000, even $200,000 in as little as 5 days. You don't even have to touch your primary mortgage. You can keep that 3% rate intact. Get just the money you need and pay off all those credit cards or get that home improvement project started. With this revolutionary program, you can access up to 90% of your home's value, and in most cases, there's no appraisal. Stop paying insane interest rates to the credit card companies and get tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash in as little as 5 days. Call Loan Pronto now for the even faster Equity Express line. 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780. Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
All of us at 102.5 and 106.3 The Game want to recognize our active military, veterans, first responders, and educators with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glow, the bombs bursting gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
This is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. Live from the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios. WPRT FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne. Broadcasting on Alexa.
I appreciate that.
And other smart speakers. 102.5 and 106.3.
And the score!
You can run different offenses.
The doors on the board. Off the field, on the field.
The Game.
A Cromwell Media Station.
Let me talk to you. Talking what's important to Nashville.
Sweet mother of God, what is the holdup?
This is the Chase and Big Joe Show.
Well, Lottie frickin' God!
With Chase McCabe and Big Joe Dubin. Brought to you by Regal Realty Group.
Good, great, grand, wonderful.
We're here on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hour number 2, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. It is opening day in the National Hockey League, and the very first game in the National Hockey League will be the Nashville Predators taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning, starting at 3:30 with pregame and then 4:30 puck drop. Pete Weber And our next guest, Hal Gill, will be on the call. Skillsy, it's finally here. How excited are you?
You can't be happier. You know, we're on the road, starting off the road. That's the way you should do it, right? Get into it. I'm just excited to see these guys. As much fun as I'm having on the road, these guys have a lot to prove. There's a good mix of veterans that want to show what they can do, and young guys that are just, so excited to get out on the ice and start this NHL season. So it should be fun.
Yeah, I think
good
it's
energy. There's a good energy out here.
I think there's a different energy. Like when I've been around, whether it's Andrew Brunette or Barry Trotz or the players or something, I feel like there is a difference in the air. But what do you think of, you kind of touched on it there, but the mix of this opening night roster, and I think we all know that you're going to see, even though there are some guys that got assigned to Milwaukee, you're going to see them at points throughout the year with this big club. But as you mentioned, there's a mix of young guys and some veterans that Barry Trotz has brought in to kind of help change the culture back to that Predator way that you know so well.
Yeah, I think, it's funny talking to Bruno, all these players have talked about the new system and how, they have to adjust to it, and everyone's got to be dialed in. And Brunette was pretty honest with me and with the media, saying, we're not quite there yet, but we're working on it. And, you want a coach that says, hey, we're ready to go. But I'm thinking, and to be realistic, you have to trial under fire. You have to get out there and play in real meaningful games that you can challenge yourself. And his whole thing is he wants to play with the puck, and if they don't have the puck, they want to be quick to get it back. And I think that takes just that mindset. They're not going to go out there and lock it down, defend the way the Predators teams have in the past. There's the old Predator way that was like, hey, we're going to be really hard to play against. I think this team is going to be hard to play against, but in a faster way. They're going to be aggressive. They're not going to stand back. And I think he's trying to get everyone to start clicking. If you're going to be aggressive, you got to be aggressive together. And I think that's his challenge. And I think that's what a lot of these young guys are going to have to learn, and the older guys are going to have to adapt to.
The Predators claimed Samuel Fagemo off waivers from L.A. last week. He scores in his preseason debut. I know that Brunette talked about him, Trotz talked about him and what he brought. Do you feel like that was a guy that they saw enough that he clearly made the opening night roster, but maybe he took a spot because we saw Gurianov get sent to the AHL? But what did you think about him coming in last minute and getting a spot on this opening night roster?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because Gurianov, I thought, the player he was, the player we saw, is a guy that could help the team. And it didn't work out. They didn't like the way he was doing things. And Fagemo, from what I saw, the highlight reel of him sniping with that right shot off to the side. Every play was that same play of being aggressive and firing that puck. And I think this team, everyone around the NHL is looking at the Preds saying, okay, where are their goals coming from? Where are they going to get goals from? They have some good defensemen. They have a great goaltender. They have Philip Forsberg. Can he come around and light it up? And can these young guys start to contribute on the score sheet? And so I think the intrigue of Fagemo and his shot was enough to get him the spot.
We're talking to Hal Gill, Predators analyst. You can hear him and Pete Weber tonight on the call, or this afternoon on the call, as the Preds open their season against Tampa Bay.
Hal, it's the first game for the new coach. What do you think his message is tonight, talking to the players, and what do you think he's going through today as well? Because, coming back, this is his first really big, great opportunity. What's kind of his mindset going into today's game?
Yeah, you know what? Again, going back to the aura, I think there's a lot of coaches that would probably say, no, I'm very comfortable. This is what I was born to do, and I've got everything all lined up, and I know exactly how this is going to happen, and this is how my team is going to play for me. I think he's not that guy. He doesn't have that arrogance about him. He's got a quiet confidence, and he says, I know what we're working towards, and this is another step of us to work towards that. And I think he is excited about it. He's feeling the nerves, but I think it's a good nerves, and I think it's an excitement that he seems like a kid who just wants to get out there and play. he's excited about the whole thing and wants to get it started. And I don't think he's looking at the end game as we need to get the win tonight. I think he's looking at we need this team to build the way they're supposed to go, and then the wins will take care of themselves.
I know, Roman Josi being the captain of this team, but what player are you looking forward to kind of not have a breakout year, but kind of step up in a leadership role, a production role, and everything that goes into making a great player?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of guys I'm excited to see. I think Ryan O'Reilly coming in is obviously a guy that, has that winning pedigree, and I am excited to see how he conducts himself on a new team, and flexes that leadership. I think he's going to be a big part of this team, not just leadership-wise, but also on the power play, moving, getting guys to play the right way, getting our young guys to play the right way. And then I'll add in that, if I'm Tommy Novak, I'm staring at him. I'm watching him. Cody Glass, I'm following what Ryan O'Reilly is doing. And so I think those are two guys. There's a long list of guys that we're expecting big things from. And but I look at Novak and I feel like he's been real strong. We knew that he was shifty and fast and could make plays. He looks stronger than he did last year, and I'm excited to see how that translates into the game. You want to go up and down the list with all the guys? How excited are we to see Parson play? He was playing so well last year, got injured. Now he's back in the lineup. It looks like he's going to be on that top line with O'Reilly and Forsberg. That's going to be a lot of fun to see. I love watching him play. So there's another guy. But really the exciting part about this is you can go up and down the lineup and say, I want to see something big from this. And you can expect to see at least some of these guys come out and have big years.
Well, I'll ask you, Hal, about a guy specifically that you know very well in Luke Schenn, and I've been curious to see where he's going to slide into the defensive pairings. He's played with Josi some. I kind of like that you have Josi that can do so much with the offensive side, and Luke Schenn kind of being that stay-at-home guy. But what is he going to bring to this defense core?
Yeah, it's funny. If you go through Luke Schenn's career, he started off in Toronto, a high draft pick, and he was playing really great hockey. He was a young kid just running and gunning. The expectations went through the roof for him. He took a step back and, he had a hard time living up to those expectations. But now in his old age, not that he's old, but he's a veteran now, he's realized what he needs to do to help a team win. And he's been successful at it. He's tough. He throws lefts, and if someone doesn't know that he throws lefts, they're going to find out quick because when he throws them hard, and they usually land. So, he's a guy that'll fight. He'll battle. He hits everything that moves. So I think he's going to be a welcome addition on the back end. The question is going to be, is he playing with Josi? Do they move him up and down the lineup? I don't know how many minutes he's going to want to handle on a regular basis. I know he can play big minutes if he has to, but I don't think Brunette would want to, hold him over the barrel and make him play 22 minutes a night repeatedly. But I think he's going to be that guy that can play your 18, 20 minutes, play really hard, physical, and kill penalties. I think just his presence on the ice is going to make everyone around him better.
Hal, here's a kind of a different question for you. Tonight, a lot of dreams are going to be realized. A lot of tears going to be shed by parents who see their kids make it into the National Hockey League.
Yeah.
Tell me about your first game for the Bruins when you made the ice for the first time.
A little different story for me. I think my parents were probably crying because they knew that would be my last game. Because I went out there against Vancouver, and I almost scored on my own goal, trying to rim it around the boards. I had 2 shifts, and I never saw the ice again, and I got sent down after that. So a very exciting experience for me. The story ended up better because I went down to Providence and played 4 games down there, got my feet under me, got a little bit of confidence. And when I got the call back up because of an injury, I never let that spot go. And I found my game and got rid of the jitters. So I will tell you, there's a lot of jitters that are going to be running through guys' hands and feet. They just got to work through them and go play.
Beautiful.
Well, Hal, it's going to be fun. I'm looking.
You want a really happy, fun story?
No, I want the truth. I want the truth,
Well,
Hal.
I know your.
You can't handle the truth.
I know your first game where you didn't play, but I know that story because that's a funny one that makes me laugh.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you don't play.
Hal,
the NHL.
I appreciate it as always. Looking forward to it. We'll be listening to you and Pete coming up in just a few hours.
Pete and I are ready. We're going to go bang out some lunch, get a good pregame nap, and it's business as usual. We're going to be at mid-season form, I tell you that.
I believe it. We'll be listening. Thanks, bud.
Cheers, guys.
See ya. Hal Gill going to join us every Tuesday at 10. Get his thoughts on all things Predators. And, again, pregame coverage at 3:30 today with Max Hers. Pete and Hal on the call around 4:30 with the puck drop. Coming up next, usually he's on Wednesdays, but we're going to talk to John McClain from Houston. We'll get his thoughts on the NFL. That's next, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Every Wednesday at 8:30. Join Robbie and Rexroad for The Choice is Yours.
2 sports questions, 2 non-sports questions.
They'll answer a couple of questions about life and sports. The Choice is Yours is built by Jared Companies. You have a choice. So when you have a need for site and utility work, fire protection, concrete and asphalt services, the choice is simple. It's Jared Companies. For more, visit jaredcompaniesinc.com. The Choice is Yours. Wednesdays at 8:30 on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Get a great deal on select Kubota equipment, the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S. The versatile lineup is built to help you make the most of your land. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0% APR. Full disclaimer. Krebs Kubota, Middle Tennessee's preferred equipment dealer. Convenient locations in Columbia, Franklin, and Murfreesboro. Visit us online at KrebsKubota.com.
Hi, this is Rudy Gatlin of the Gatlin Brothers. Larry, Steve, and I would like to invite you to join us for the 2nd annual Blood Assurance Celebrity Golf Tournament Monday, October 23rd at the beautiful Hermitage Golf Course. All proceeds benefit local high schools through the Blood Assurance Heroes Grant Fund. There are going to be a lot of great prizes, but one lucky player will win a trip for 2 to play golf in Ireland. To sign up and for more information, go to bloodassurance.org/celebrity-golf. Come on and join us.
Blue Raider fans, your home for all the MTSU football and men's basketball action is on 93.3 Classic Hits and 95.1 Classic Hits in the borough. Catch the action all season long with Chip Walters on the call. Go Blue Raiders!
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Today's world is filled with many things that can push us to our limit. An upcoming move should not add to that list. Hey, it's Caroline Fenton. And when you choose Black Tie Moving like I did, you get a highly awarded Inc. 500 company. From the free estimate by a local professional moving consultant to the red carpet treatment, they take the stress out of the process. So visit blacktiemoving.com or call 615-437-8401. Mention GAME, G-A-M-E, to score 10% off your next move. Let Black Tie Moving make your next move the best move of your life.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Vanderbilt football lives here.
This Saturday, it's Vanderbilt and Georgia from First Bank Stadium. Kickoff at 11 a.m. Coverage starts at 9:30.
Your home for the Commodores is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. You're listening to the Chase and Big Joe Show.
I could pull a better cartoon out of my ass. Hey, whoa! Wasn't that great, kids?
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hey, we told you about a concert announcement. How about this? Tool, the band Tool, coming to Bridgestone Arena Tuesday, January 23rd. And you can win a pair of tickets before you can buy them. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10. But you can call in right now, 615-737-1025, and you can win those tickets to see Tool before you can buy them. 10 a.m. on Friday is when you can buy them. And Tuesday, January 23rd at Bridgestone Arena. So pretty cool that they have announced that. Let's say hello to John McClain from Houston, Sports Radio 610. Usually joins us on Wednesday. Thanks for moving around for us, John. How are you?
I couldn't be better. I'm living in a baseball city right now because of the Astros trying to defend their World Series title, and the Texans coming off a loss to the Falcons. So it's quite interesting right now in Houston.
Well, it's interesting here in Nashville, too, because as you can imagine, week after week, when the Titans thump the Bengals like they did, everybody's feeling good, and they're like, oh, there you go, the offense looking like it should. And then they lose to the Colts in a game that they were in until the very end. Tannehill throws a pick trying to drive the ball down the field with a minute or less left on the clock. But what did you think about the Titans' performance and the fact that once again it felt like they couldn't get Derrick Henry going the way that they wanted to?
I think, as you guys know, as Henry goes, so go the Titans. As Henry goes, so goes Tannehill. I was glad to see Hopkins have started to fit in more there because he's just going to keep getting better and better. But I don't know if it's the offensive line. I don't know if it's the blocking overall. You guys will know that better than I. But I do know from afar that when they can't control the line of scrimmage and have Henry make the plays he did 2 weeks ago, then they're doomed. And I think the Texans knocked Richardson out of the game, and that was the worst thing could have happened because Minshew came in and beat them. And I think the Colts have a better chance to win with Minshew because he's got more experience and he's not going to make a lot of mistakes, and he's won games, but that's not what they want in the long run. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if seeing misses 5 games, they don't go 3-2 and put heat on the Jaguars, while the Titans and Texans look like they're destined right now to compete for last place in the South.
So let me ask you this, because you're the perfect authority on this. You remember when Bill O'Brien went from being just the head coach to having more power and basically becoming the GM and the head coach, and we saw how that ended. With Mike Vrabel, it's very apparent he has more power now with the Titans. He's listed on the website under football executive leadership alongside Rand Carthon. They've made it a big deal that it's a collaboration between those two. How did the perception of the players towards Bill O'Brien change once he got that title? Because I feel like we're kind of seeing some of that here.
People complained about O'Brien constantly because they didn't like it. Bill never came across well, whether he was talking to the media, talking to the fans, he just didn't come across well. So no matter what he did, he was criticized. When they won 4 division titles in 5 years and 2 playoff games, we gave the players the credit, some of those assistant coaches, and grudgingly O'Brien. And O'Brien wanted to do it like the Patriots, where the head coach has total control. And that was his goal when he came in. He had an established general manager in Rick Smith, and they had humongous clashes that divided the organization because of their difference on personnel. Now, a good general manager is going to make sure a coach gets the player he wants, because if you force a coach to take a player, he's not going to play him. If you let the coach take a player you don't want, then he's going to play him come hell or high water to prove that he was right. I learned that decades ago from former Oilers Titans general manager Mike Olivac, because he thought he had final say on everything, but you can't force things on the head coach, because the coach has control of the game day roster, assistant, strategy, and everything else. O'Brien, he had no tolerance for a lot of things. And, like, he didn't like it that Hopkins didn't practice. He didn't like it that Jadeveon Clowney was late to meetings. Therefore, he made really bad trades for both of them, and they went in 2018 when they were 11-5 and had a lot of star power, even though they blew a home playoff game to Andrew Luck and the Colts. That was the best team they had, and then he started to get rid of them. I can't imagine. To me, Mike Vrabel is much more tolerant. He knows every player can't be treated the same way because he was a player. And Vrabel knows that every player is not going to have the work ethic that he had, and I think he understands that. So I can't see O'Brien made bad trades. He was general manager for 2 years, and finally they wised up when they went 0-4 to start the 2020 season, and they'll never they'll never make a head coach a general manager here again.
Smart move, talking to the legend, John McClain. John, let me ask you this. During the offseason, the Titans asked one of their best players, fan favorite, people love him here, Kevin Byard, to take a pay cut, and it became that he said, she said kind of ordeal. What's the collateral damage of that in a locker room?
I think it all depends on how the player handles it. Most players say one of the worst things you can do, okay, we're not going to re-sign you in free agency, but shop around, and then when you get your offer, come back to us, and if we want to match it or beat it, we will. Well, that player is going to take less to go somewhere else, because generally the team that they say spill blood for ought to appreciate them more than anybody else. And I didn't pay much attention to that other than the fact when it happened, and it was him, one of their best players and leaders, I was surprised. Did he take the pay cut and redo his contract, or did he just say no?
I think he just said
he redid the contract and took a pay cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, most guys won't do that, and that said a lot about him. But how he handles it behind the scenes would be the way the players handle it. If he did not make it an issue and he's all about the team, and I'm guessing he is, because that seems to be the kind of player he is, that wouldn't have an issue.
Well, the reason why I asked, because there seems to be a disconnect between Vrabel and the team, and you're asking one of your best players to do this, and there's got to be a fallout effect after all that. It's just an odd thing that we're seeing here in Nashville now, John.
Well, I didn't know when Rand Cawthorn came there. I'm guessing he would have. He's got an agent that he would negotiate it. Somebody has to have final say. Like I see all the time in San Francisco, people talking about John Lynch doing a great job. Well, I'm sure he does, but Kyle Shanahan has it in his contract that he has final say. Just like here, Nick Caserio, the general manager, has it in his contract. He has final say. So if they can't agree on something, somebody has got to have the final say, because collaborations sound great, but if they can't agree, somebody's going to have to put his foot down and say that's the way it is. So I'm guessing one of those guys has it in the contract or an understanding that he's going to have the final say if there's a total disagreement on the prospect.
We'll have more with John McClain coming up next here on the Chasing Big Joe Show, 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
If it's important to Nashville,
I'll put it out right now.
it's important to Jared Stillman.
Like, that's it.
He's not afraid to ask the tough questions.
Something is going on, and the question is, what does it mean?
Or give the strong opinion.
And just needed the bozo offensive coordinator to stop ruining the quarterback.
Stillman and Company. Weekdays at 2 on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Whatever your destination in life, you can get there easier with a checking account from F&M Bank. At F&M, our checking accounts give you the tools you need to manage your money well, like our smart free checking account that's actually free. Because sometimes the basics are more than enough, making lives better by making banking easier. Come see us at one of our branches or online at myfmbank.com. F&M Bank, banking made easy on purpose. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Jared from my friends at Hiller. If you have some things around your home that you've been putting off fixing, like your regular HVAC maintenance or a clogged bathroom drain, Hiller has some big discounts this month. When the temperature drops and you start using your heater for the first time, you do not want to be dealing with breakdown issues, and this month, Hiller is offering half off HVAC tune-up. And Hiller is bringing back their $99 drain cleaning special. These deals only last this month, so be sure to call today. That's Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, proud supporters of the Preds of Falls and Vandy. Hiller, call the Happy Face Truck today.
Have you seen the selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches they now have at Genesis Diamonds? If not, prepare to be amazed.
If people really know the watch world, they come in and they're in shock. They're like, I cannot believe you have this selection here. You're able to see them, touch them, feel them.
Meet Genesis watch expert Charlie Rivers, who says over the past few years, Genesis buyers have scoured the world to build a collection of luxury pre-owned Rolexes, including all the hard-to-find models.
Daytonas, Pandas, Sky Dwellers, a huge selection of Submariners, Hulks, Kermits, anything that you could ever possibly want. We have every luxury pre-owned Rolex that we have here. We ensure that it's in pristine condition.
So come in today and find the timepiece of your dreams at Genesis. Or if you already own a Rolex and are looking to trade for a different model or even sell it, Genesis can help you get top dollar.
If you have a Rolex, definitely bring it in. I would love to see it and do a complimentary evaluation on it and see what we can do for you.
Genesis Diamonds, now with one of the largest selections of luxury pre-owned Rolexes in America. Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Are you drowning in credit card debt? Want to get cash out of your home's equity? Loan Pronto can do it now in less than a week. Hey, Willie Donick here. That's right. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit just got even faster. You can get $50,000, $100,000, even $200,000 in as little as 5 days. You don't even have to touch your primary mortgage. You can keep that 3% rate intact. Get just the money you need and pay off all those credit cards or get that home improvement project started. With this revolutionary program, you can access up to 90% of your home's value, and in most cases, there's no appraisal. Stop paying insane interest rates to the credit card companies and get tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash in as little as 5 days. Call Loan Pronto now for the even faster Equity Express line. 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Hey, if you missed our show, you can get it on demand. Just search for the Chase and Big Joe Show podcast on Apple, Spotify, or any podcast platform.
Chase and Big Joe are on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Talking with John McClain from Houston, Sports Radio 610, usually on Wednesdays at 9:30, but nice enough to move to today. We talked about D-Hop a little bit earlier, and you saw him get going. But you also pointed out, like we all know, that if Derrick Henry's not going, this offense is not going. Do you think, though, as DeAndre Hopkins continues to progress and grow, that he can take some of that pressure off of Derrick Henry and become maybe not the catalyst to the point that Derrick Henry is with this offense, but certainly help it?
Well, yes, he would help it, but the way Tannehill plays and the way he's got to have a running game, if they say they have to throw too much, Diop's going to get a lot more attention. And that play I saw him make along the sideline, that's the kind of play we saw routinely here. And he, one of the things I like about him, it doesn't matter what the situation is, winning, losing, home, road, bad weather, good weather, he's always the same player. He's always consistent. And the best thing they can do, of course, is be a consistent running team like they used to be. And I'm guessing a lot of that starts up front. There's so many teams right now that are struggling to run the ball. I've got one right here in Houston, and they're having big-time trouble running the ball that they didn't have last year. So it puts so much pressure on the quarterback and on the wide receiver. But I'm guessing Tannehill sure likes the fact that he's got DeAndre Hopkins there, knowing that he can throw the ball to him. And if he's not double covered, he should catch it just about every time if he throws it accurately.
John, let's talk about a few of the things in the National Football League. And let's start with probably one of the worst football teams I've seen in a long time, the Carolina Panthers. I just discovered this morning that they do not own their first-round pick of the 2024 draft, which would probably be the first overall pick. I mean, have you seen it? I mean, I know you have, but that's just a bad football team. Do they have any hope at all?
It was amazing to me when they hired Frank Reich, and he had an interview yesterday that I just saw this morning and I retweeted, in which he was talking about the media, and he was asked about the role that the owner, David Tepper, plays. And he said some owners don't like to engage, some do, and he likes to engage. So people are saying, well, maybe he made him take Bryce Young. Well, it's so unfair to try to judge Bryce Young at this point of his career. He had I think he has 4 interceptions, 2 or 3 fumbles, but he had 3 touchdown passes Sunday. And they traded a lot of picks. They don't have, besides not having their one, they given up the receiver to the Bears. They don't have a 2 in 2025 on that trade, and they're missing another one, high one, the 1 in 24, and it would be first overall right now. But there's so many bad teams. I mean, my God, the last 2 weeks, the Patriots are the worst team in the NFL, and it's topsy-turvy, up, down. Most of them are down, but boy, if they got the number 1 pick and could have Caleb Williams, I'm guessing they would get some of those draft picks back, trading to another team that wanted to take him, because there's no way they're going to give up on Bryce Young after 1 year, even though Caleb Williams is a better prospect than anybody was in this past draft.
Totally agree. Give me your thoughts on the Vikings, John. It's like year after year they go into the season, all these expectations, and that's not a very good football team either, and when they should be.
Well, last year they won 11 games by 1 score, and then they lost the playoff game by 1 score. Now they're losing all the games by 1 score, and they've just lost the best receiver in the NFL, Kirk Cousins, in the last year of his contract, and that division is terrible. It looks like the Lions are going to run away with it. They haven't won an NFC North title since 1991, and so there's some bad football being played, and we saw 2 bad ones last night as well. They're just not among the worst yet. But I think the Vikings, the problem is there's too many teams that need quarterbacks. Yes, it's a really good deep draft for talented quarterbacks, but that doesn't mean there's only 2, and that would be Caleb Williams and Drake May from North Carolina, that people think are franchise quarterbacks at least to this point, and there's going to be a scramble. And it looks like Minnesota's going to be in it, because why would they want to give Kirk Cousins a 4 or 5 year contract for $50 million a year instead of starting over with a young guy and buying time for a coaching staff that would be entering its 3rd season?
John McClain is with us, and I agree with you. There are a lot of bad teams right now. I mean, are either average or below average, however you want to put it. But what teams do you consider to be the actual good teams right now? I'll give you one: San Francisco.
Everybody says Philadelphia is number 2. The Eagles have not dominated the way they did last year, which is interesting considering they are unbeaten. I think people put the Chiefs 3rd, and those would be the top 3. If Cincinnati, a lot preseason Super Bowl pick by a lot of people, plays the way it did Sunday, if Joe Burrow plays the way he did Sunday, then they ought to get on a roll. But there's like Baltimore losing to Pittsburgh after the Texans just beat the Steelers by 24 points. You can't trust a lot of teams. I think you can trust the 49ers. I think you can trust the Eagles, and I think you can trust the Chiefs. And after that, I don't think you can trust any team based on what we've seen so far. The AFC North, I thought was going to be great. AFC East thought was going to be great. You know, the Jets have been respectable considering they lost Aaron Rodgers. The Patriots are awful. But it's a two-team race. But I thought in the AFC North, any of those four teams could finish first, any could finish last, and that may still be the case, but there's not any teams at this point that scare you in the AFC North.
So with the NFC, you're not ready to buy Detroit, sitting at 4-1?
I don't put Detroit in the same class as those other three. If you had Detroit, I just don't. One thing about the Chiefs, even though they beat the Chiefs, I think with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, you'd take them over Jared Goff and Dan Campbell. I think everybody would, especially say if it came to I don't think we're going to see them in the Super Bowl. We could see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and while I think it would be a great story for the Lions, who won 2 playoff games since the 50s and haven't won a title since the 50s, I think it'd be great if they were in it. And maybe they will be, but right now I trust them to win the division, but not to go to the Super Bowl.
We're talking to the legend right now, John McClain. John, I get your thoughts on this. We talked a couple weeks ago about the throwback uniforms that the Titans are going to wear versus the Texans, all that. But this weekend, the Buccaneers are wearing the creamsicles. Being a fan of the NFL, do you embrace all this? I think it's fantastic, John, because it's nostalgia, and it takes us back to a place growing up watching football that we love. Your thoughts on all this?
Well, I'm big on nostalgia. We all are as we get older. But there's some of those uniforms, when they wore them, people are like, my God, why would they wear those uniforms? They're so ugly. They're putrid. And those creamsicle uniforms were the ones that everybody blasted the most. Now they can't wait to welcome them back. People didn't pay attention to Columbia Blue all those years when the Oilers were terrible. Then when they got good, everybody loved the uniform. And now I see all these things online from people in other cities who are saying, man, I love those Oiler uniforms. And so I think it's great because it means such a big deal to fans and media. It means more sales to the NFL because we know the poor NFL owners need every penny they can get. And I can't wait to see the Titans wear them against the Falcons and can't wait to see them wear them against the Texans. I just hope that game means something to keep the interest going because, in fact, last night, I was at a dinner for Gridiron Legends of Texas. A lot of Oilers were there. I just left a golf tournament where I made an appearance for the Gridiron Legends of Texas. A lot of Oilers were there, and they are so.
Uh-oh. Did we lose John? He got zapped. John? I think we lost John.
The ghost of John McKay came back and got him about those creamsicle uniforms.
I don't know what happened. He just completely cut out.
Did he get raptured?
No.
Says he's still in the line. I don't know where he's at.
He's gone.
Hey, John.
But anyway, John McClain, appreciate him for joining us as he usually does each week. Good stuff there, usually on Wednesdays at 9:30, but appreciate him moving some stuff around. Coming up next, I have 2 quick thoughts, one on the Preds, one on the Titans, including there is a receiver that could be on the market should the Titans take a look. We'll discuss that.
They don't want Yancey Thigpen.
No,
I'm telling you right now.
No, not him. We'll do that next, plus celebrity birthdays. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
He breaks down every game.
The players are still going to be fine.
And knows the ins and outs of the two-tone blue.
They deal with their own position coaches.
He is ESPN NFL Nation Titans reporter Teron Davenport.
It's clear what he's doing.
TD joins every Monday at 1, Thursdays at 3, Friday mornings at 8, and anytime on the Talkin' with TD podcast.
I think that's really cool how he could show both sides.
TD is on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Attention all fire protection, commercial plumbing, and HVAC experts. Jarrett Companies are looking for experienced field technicians like you. Tired of working for your large corporate employer? Work for a company where you're more than just a number. Jarrett's Fire Protection, commercial plumbing, and HVAC divisions are owned and operated by Nashville natives who want you to grow with their amazing team.
Hi, I'm Jason Jarrett, owner of Jarrett Companies. I'm looking to hire experienced experts and will offer a sign-on bonus of up to $5,000 for certified professionals. In addition to our great benefits that include a 401k match, PTO, and top pay with annual bonuses, we'll also provide you with top-of-the-line tools, trucks, and equipment that you need to grow your career. Our customer base is large and our business is booming with many opportunities for advancement. Give us a call or go online to JarrettCompaniesInc.com and apply today to become a member of our family and protect our community. That's JARRETT CompaniesInc.com. Jarrett Companies, where we are above and beyond industry standards.
Hi, this is Warren Moon, former quarterback for the Houston Oilers, 9-time Pro Bowler, and member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. As a former player, I've always focused on my health. Did you know about 1 in every 3 people in the U.S. will have shingles in their lifetime? Shingles can cause nerve pain and can last for months or even years. As we get older, our risk of having shingles and its serious complications increases. Getting the shingles vaccine is the only way to prevent shingles. Join me and gear up against shingles.
In 1972, a Nashville family business story began when Bill and Beverly Finley founded Volunteer Hose and Gasket. 3 generations have grown the business into the local industry leader supplying just about anything to anybody, from the largest of contractors to your neighbor that mows his own yard. Over 1 million items in stock: belts, belting accessories, gaskets, gauges, hose fittings, hydraulics, industrial hoses, lubricants, sealing products, toothing, fire protection, and more. All at volunteerhose.net. If Volunteer Hose and Gasket doesn't have it, then you probably don't need it. Call them at 615-242-0461.
Hey, are you seeking relief? Maybe you just want to enhance your day or night. Did you know there are legal THC products available right here in Tennessee? Yeah, really. You can have legal THC products shipped directly to the comfort of your home. Yes, Comfort and Cannabis is only a website away. Visit greentreescompany.com. That's Green Trees with a Z, and change your life today.
Get ready to elevate your game day experience. Titans fans, it's all happening at Mimo Bar on Titans Terrace. Just a short walk from the bridge at First and Demonbreun. They've got your epic pregame and postgame covered with their Italian classics and sensational cocktails. Your senses will be on a joyride. And hey, listen to this. Everyone at the Titans Terrace gets a chance to bag a Gibson Guitars merch bundle, a $100 Mimo postgame gift card, or a weekend brunch for 2. So why wait? Mimo Bar, where Nashville's heritage meets Italian flavor.
Just a minute, don't hang up. Hey, we want to hear from all of you. Give us a call or text at 615-737-1025.
Hello. You'll have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel.
Our phone line driven by Wilson County Hyundai.
Chase and Big Joe are on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hope you're having a great start to your Tuesday. Hey, join Jared Stillman and Chris Sanders this week at Teddy's Tavern, located across from Bridgestone Arena, this Sunday from 11 to 1 as they break down the Titans and Ravens game. D-Mace will be in London, so he'll probably call in from there. NFL postgame this week is presented by Parman Tractor and Equipment and the Beasts Unleashed. All right, couple of quick thoughts before we get to celebrity birthdays.
Yeah, man.
Jeremy Fowler of ESPN is reporting that the Jets are looking at options for receiver Mecole Hardman, including a potential trade. Per league sources, Hardman was inactive Sunday. He's not been in their plans despite signing a 1-year, $4 million free agency deal with an upside to $5.5 million. The Jets can find him a new home and more playing time. He's not a number 1, number 2, maybe not even a number 3. But would you consider it if you're the Titans to add a little more depth at that position?
Absolutely not.
So you say no.
Does he have a song, too? A song that goes with him? Mecole Hardman. What's his name again?
Mecole.
What's his last name?
Hardman.
Mecole Hardman. Mecole Hardman.
What is it?
Oh, man.
I'll see you tomorrow, Chase.
Hardman. Mecole Hardman.
What in the blue hell are you doing?
Never heard that song?
No.
I'll tell you once I tell you what the song is, you'll be like, "Oh, okay, I get it."
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And second, I actually have 3 thoughts. I don't know if that helped or hurt this. So we're gonna tweet this link out, but this was just brought to my attention that the Tennessean does their official Community Choice Awards, the best in Music City, and in Columnist Reporter there is one Joseph Dubin.
Hello. For some odd reason, I won that last year, which is really bizarre, but.
And in radio personality /show,
get it?
There is me. There's not you. Hey, there's not you, Jared. It's not always about you. There's me. Deal with it.
And I tell you, winning that award means absolutely nothing.
No, it's just nice to brag.
It is. Well done for you, man. Hey,
and TV personality, shout out to our girl Jill Jonas.
Yeah.
So up for that. So go vote. Go vote for that. Thank you. Studio audience.
They finally woke up.
They did. Welcome in, guys and girls. Appreciate it.
They fell asleep during our I'm Done segment about an hour ago.
No, a lot of people like that. Predators open their season here in a few hours, 3:30 pregame, 4:30 puck drop against the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm excited to see the line combinations. I think, as they went through the preseason, you had a lot of things with young guys getting used to the new veterans that they brought in. Andrew Brunette, his system. It's a different system from what John Hines ran. So I think it's going to take a little time, but I don't feel like there's been as much excitement surrounding the Predators starting a season this year. That it's been a while since it's kind of felt that way because because you see the plan, you see the direction.
Well, I mean, I went to the game last week. I saw you there. It was a nice crowd, loud crowd.
Thanks for saying hi.
Yeah, I mean, so it's. I think the early start's weird, today, and I get it. But win the game, come home Thursday to a packed house at Bridgestone Arena, and then let the fun begin, and let's go with it.
My mom has texted on my personal text line and wants to know why you were singing and to help.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you after the show, and you can tell your lovely mother after the show. The song, I can't believe you don't know that song.
I don't know the song.
Can we whisper to you? Shut the mics off real quick. No, I'll tell you.
No, just tell me after the show. That's fine. Okay. So I'm excited about this Predator season, seeing the new guys. People have been asking me if I were to give advice on a goal scorer. I mean, I feel like Ryan O'Reilly is, making his debut. A lot of guys making their Preds debut, but I would say Ryan O'Reilly. No, the morning show did pick to click this morning. I did not hear the picks to click. I don't know who they picked.
Somebody picked Forsberg.
That makes sense.
Somebody picked Darcy Hordichuk.
Okay.
That was Robbie.
Good. Yeah, it's good.
And I think Nick Kiesler, being crazy, hit Vokoun.
Thomas Vokoun.
You never know. Wow. That's right. One.
There you go. I love that you just – I was believing you. So was it Philip Forsberg or Peter Forsberg?
It was Philip Forsberg.
Okay,
I think
good.
one of them, Joe Rexrode maybe took that. I don't know. He covers football.
Someone took Tommy Novak as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Rexrode goes for the low-hanging fruit. That's fine.
I like the name Tommy Novak. That's like a blue-collar name.
Novechkin. Tommy Novechkin. That became his nickname last year. And
is that his real name or is it Novak?
No, it's Novak, but Alex Ovechkin. So somebody, when he was scoring all those goals, he kind of became Tommy Novechkin with the fans. And Barry Trotz was asked about that, and he kind of laughed, and he goes, I like that. I like that name on him. So
that sounds good. Yeah, that's a name like if your car breaks down, call Tommy Novak. He'll come. Yeah. He's a guy that gets things done. He fixes things.
By the way, Barry Trotz will join Jared today at 3 o'clock. He will do a weekly every Tuesday.
Oh, before the game?
Yes. Usually that will be at 5 o'clock on Tuesdays, but with the game being earlier today, he's going to join at 3. So Predators general manager Barry Trotz at 3. All right, let's get to celebrity birthdays.
By the way, we just adopted Tommy Novak on this show.
He could be the fan favorite of the show.
He's like the wolf in Pulp Fiction. He just gets things done. Novak. Yeah. What's wrong with your car? All right, call Tommy Novak. All right, ready for this?
We are.
All right, here we go. First birthday up. Ben Vereen. Was he not the Fresh Prince's dad who left him?
He might be.
Ben Vereen. How old's Ben Vereen today?
69.
This is tough. 63.
77.
Boy, oh boy.
Here we go. David Lee Roth, the best frontman of all time. How old is David Lee Roth?
73.
76.
69.
Oh, boy.
Dang.
Actor Bradley Whitford. He was in which?
The West Wing.
West Wing, and he was in Adam Sandler movie. Billy Madison.
He was in Billy Madison.
Yep. How old's Bradley Whitford?
Bradley Whitford. Very good on the West Wing.
Great. Josh.
Great show. Yeah, Josh. I'm going to say 63.
56.
64.
Oh, boy.
Bam! Chase, you're rolling with it.
I can't get out of the slump, Joe.
He got that nomination. You need a slump buster. He got out of that nomination, and he's rolling today. Actor Mario Lopez. Chase from Saved by the Bell. Mario Lopez. Me, Cohardeman. Me, Cohardeman. Come on.
Mario is
It's Mario.
53.
Mario Lopez.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. 55.
50. Mario Lopez. Actress Jodie Lynn O'Keefe. She was in, I don't know, The Big Bang, I think, Theory, and Charmed. She's adorable. Jodie Lynn O'Keefe.
I don't know who. I can't place her. Caroline. Does Caroline know?
She made guest appearances on these shows.
Oh, guest appearance. 42.
I'm going to go a wild shot here at 51.
45. All right, it's going down here.
I'm up 2-0,
right? You're up 1-0. Actor Peter Coyote. He does all the voices for the Oscars. I think he was in one of those Law and Order shows on NBC that ran for 55 years.
75.
67.
82. Country singer listens to the show down in Franklin. Tanya Tucker.
Delta Dawn. Tanya Tucker is 72 years young.
I'm going to go 76.
65.
Sorry, Tanya.
Actress Julia Sweeney from Saturday Night Live. She did the segment Pat.
57.
49.
64.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep. The drummer of the Goo Goo Dolls, Mike Malinin. I think he lives here in Nashville.
Most do. 45.
58.
56.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Crane ties it up.
Are you sure I didn't have 2?
You didn't. You didn't get any of them. Positive. You didn't get David Lee Roth. You didn't get any of them.
I got the first one, I thought.
You got one.
But I thought I got 2.
No, arguing with the judge.
I need the replay.
Singer Maya. Or Mia. M-Y-A. Maya. I don't know. Maya. Mia. Maya.
Mio Mayo. 40.
34.
All right, 44. All right, here we go. We got a couple tiebreakers here. All right, first, Dale Earnhardt Jr. How old is Dale Jr., Chase? You should
Why
get
wouldn't
this.
you lead with that?
Because I go in a certain order that one of these days you boneheads will pick up.
Junior. I forgot today was his birthday. 49.
I was going to say, Caroline and I were thinking 48.
49 exactly. One more before we out the door. A chance to tie. Chase, you get it, you win. Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is 47.
Brett Favre? 53.
54. And we got a tie today. It's a push. Good job, Dr. Crane.
That's going to do
Thank
it
you very much.
for us. Caroline, Willie, and D-Mace coming up next. They'll continue to talk the Titans and Preds opening day. Happy birthday to Dale Jr. and David Lee Roth. 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
So, if there's brunch, why isn't there dinner?
Or dunch, for that matter.
No, we know why there's no dunch.
Why is that?
People might get confused and miss brunch.
And I never want to miss a brunch this good.
Me either. Cheers.
Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Breakfast buffet Monday through Thursday from 7 till 10:30 a.m. and